Welcome back to Inside South Florida. We all know the story of Anne Frank, the young Jewish girl who hid from the Nazis during World War II. But not many people know her early life before her time in hiding. Best-selling author Alice Hoffman now has a new book perfect for kids and adults alike, all about Anne's entire life, in hopes that stories like this aren't lost to history. I sat down with Alice for more. Alice, welcome to ISF.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Oh, we are so excited to have you. And of course, you have released this new book that we're excited to dive into and talk all about today. Let's go back to the beginning here. I mean, you are the author of When We Flew Away and so much more. How did you get introduced to Anne Frank's story, and how much did it mean to you?
Oh, it meant so much to me. I mean, I read it when I was 12 years old, and I always feel like what you read at 12 years old influences you more than any other reading you'll ever do in your life. And so for me, it was just the idea that a young Jewish girl could write a book was so mind-blowing and influenced me so much and made me feel that maybe I could write a book too. I think it's the reason that I'm a writer, actually.
Well, speaking of inspiration, what piqued your own interest in Anne's early life before the family went into hiding?
Yeah, you know, I think there wasn't much known about that, and I felt like the publishers actually came to me and they had talked to the Anne Frank house in Amsterdam about doing a novel, writing a novel that would allow people to understand how this happened, how the family wound up in hiding. And, you know, for me, it was such an honor to be asked to do this book.
You mentioned working with the Anne Frank house. What was that experience like, working with them to write this book?
It was incredible because I felt like I had complete faith in their historians. We went over everything together, you know, 10, 20 times. I felt very comfortable that I was getting the facts right, and that was really important to me, especially with this book, more than any other. And also, I got to go to Amsterdam, and they took me kind of to walk in Anne's footsteps, to visit the house where she had been a young child, to walk through the park where she had played, to go to her school, to see her desk that was still in the school, the Montessori school that she went to. That was very emotional and incredibly special for me to be able to do.
Why do you think many young people are not as familiar with Anne Frank's full story?
You know, I'm not exactly sure. I think it's because maybe it's not being taught in school as much, maybe it's not as available, but my feeling is I would love for someone to finish my book and then go on and want to read the diary.
Tell us a little about your own personal feelings of responsibility to educate young people about the Holocaust, as many Holocaust survivors worry that first-person accounts of the atrocities will soon be lost to the world.
100%, because there aren't that many survivors left, and so I think it's really important for us to continue that story. And you know, when I was asked to do the book, I have a niece who lives in Austria, and at the time she was 11 and a half, and I talked to her about the project, and she had never heard of Anne Frank. So I feel like in a way I wrote the book for her. So, and even though I don't think it's just for children, but I felt like, you know, this is something that she should know.
How do you think this story will resonate with readers of all ages?
I think there's something about Anne that feels very personal and that people relate to it on a very deep level, just like I did when I read the diary at 12, because she's very special, she's extraordinary, but she's also very ordinary. And there's a closeness that I think you feel when you read about her, and a compassion that you're able to have.
Well, I too read the book, The Diary of Anne Frank, when I was about 12 years old. And so I'm so passionate as well of getting this book out to all of our readers here on ISF so they can continue to learn her full story. Where can we go for more information?
Oh, well, you can go to my website, www.alicehoffman.com. You can go to my Facebook and Instagram pages, or you can go to Scholastic's websites and Instagram pages.
Perfect. Well, Alice Hoffman, author of When We Flew Away, a writer of so much more. Thanks so much for hopping on ISF today. A pleasure, and thanks for doing what you do.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.